Hey, what's up, everybody? This is just going to be a quick stream to show you a project that I've been working on. Something that I'm really excited about. I've kind of been going on a bit of a Quasar app extension spree lately. And recently I wanted to get Nuxt-like Nuxt-like routing in one of my projects. So basically auto-generating routes based on a folder structure, and was able to get that working with Quasar. So I just wanted to show you that quickly. We'll say Quasar create, and let's call this Quasar dash auto dash routing. That might be a good name to start with. And I'm going to leave everything as the default, except we'll use standard for our linter. So give that a second to install. Yeah, and just a bit of backstory here. I started doing a live stream session and ran into quite a few problems when I was trying to build this. So I ended up fixing a lot of that stuff behind the scenes. There's still a couple of things that aren't perfect with the deleting of files. Like the server fails for like a millisecond and then it works again. So it doesn't affect your dev experience, but I feel like there's a couple of tiny little things I need to tweak to get the build process working properly. But honestly, it really doesn't matter at all, at least at the moment. One thing I don't have also yet is layouts, but it looks like that's not going to be very difficult to add. So let's cd into, what did I call it? Quasar-auto-routing, and we'll open that up in code. There we go, give that a second to open. And then I say Quasar extension add, and I believe I called it auto routing. Now, the reason this is possible is not really because of me. All I did was sticky tape everything together. But there's a Vue auto routing plugin that has basically done all the hard work for me. And you can see here it says, do you want to use layouts? I'm going to say yes, though at the moment that doesn't do anything. I still need to implement that functionality. So now let's run Quasar dev and cross our fingers. Hope that this works. And one thing I want you to note, if I go to source, router, we got, what am I doing here? Inside of routes.js file, I need to include this .routes.js file. So this is the one that's automatically generated for us. And I might change where this file sits. I'm not sure that's the best place for it. I think it kind of makes sense, but I'll talk to some guys on the team and see what they think. So now I can say import here, and we'll just call this like generated routes. I'll have to create docs for this, of course. And that's going to come from ./.routes. Now, I accidentally added it in here last time, but you have to make sure that you create the generated routes at the root of this array. So make sure you don't make the same mistake I did. Ended up spending like 10 minutes trying to figure out why it wasn't working. And that's it. So let's jump into localhost now. Oh, let me just whack that over on this side of the screen. Jump out of full screen here. And I might close off that as well. So let's just say we want to create a page for profiles, for example. We can come in here and just say, for example, profile.view. And to the best of my knowledge, this pretty much follows everything that Nuxt does with its auto routing features. So I'm just going to do a template there, and I'll literally just say profile, save it, see if that works, and there we go. That's automatically got the routing set up for us. And if we go to our .routes.js file, you can see it's automatically imported profile, and it's automatically created that route for us as well. And if I go ahead and delete profile, we get a 404. So it automatically updates the routes there as well. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, you can do all the other fancy stuff. For example, creating a folder. And to be honest, I don't even remember all the features that this has. I just sticky taped the app extension to get it all working. But, you know, there's quite a few cool things you can do here with like optional parameters and all that kind of stuff. But if you could say, for example, profiles, and I believe you can say, for example, profile.view, and that's going to be the index. So if I go to profile, I'm going to get this here. So let's just say index. Whoops, what have I done there? Index of profiles. This will be embarrassing if this doesn't work. All right, let's try that and see what happens. So that is not working. Profiles, profile. So let's see what it's actually done there. Profile/profile should actually open that. So Maybe I just need to shut the server down and start it up again, which I definitely shouldn't have to do. But we'll give that a second to load, and if it doesn't, then that's all right. We'll just move on and try something else. And check I've done it correctly. Profiles, and then nested in there, profile. So now let's go. Oh, I did profile singular before. If I add an S, maybe that'll work. No. Oh, I haven't added the S here. Okay. So don't say that. Oh, maybe that autocomplete just screwed things up as well. Man, this is becoming a bit of a mess, isn't it? But ideally, I should be able to say profiles. This is profiles.view. Then if I go to profiles, it should just open up the one that has the same name. So let's try this one more time. Now, all right, looks like I've got some extra work to do there. But if I go to, the routes file, let's see if it's correct. Oh no, that's saying if I go to profiles/profiles. All right, so maybe it doesn't work the way I thought it did, or there's some other setting I need to do. But maybe if I change that to index, skip changes. Yeah, there we go. So it works if you set it to index. So another thing, of course, you can do is then say, for example, Luke, and I believe I can do a capital there. And now this is going to be, for example, a profile for me. And now let's go to profiles/Luke, and it works. So there we go. If you want the index page, you can just say index.view. Otherwise, the name of the thing that you want to say slash and then to. So that's pretty cool. Now, another thing to note here is that by default, we get this layout. So when I installed that app extension, I got this default layout. And then we can say, for example, I don't know, maybe add in a drawer or something like that. For example, we could say Q dash, you know what, let's just take the main layout, copy that, paste it in here so I don't have to do the entire example. And if I save that, I think that might actually work. Oh, maybe it's not using the default layout by default. Oh man, I really should have tried this before jumping into a live stream. Hello, Emmanuel. Oh my gosh, and there's 5 concurrent viewers. That'll be right. I get a popular stream when things start going wrong. But that's okay, it's not a big deal. Yeah, so there's obviously just a couple of things I need to change. I think I just haven't implemented layouts yet. In fact, you guys might be interested in this, so let's go ahead and maybe just have a crack at implementing that. So a lot of this is hard-coded for now. I want all of this to be optional parameters, so you can change the pages, layout, directory, and all the settings for the auto route matcher if you'd like to. But and then this here is basically saying, hey, let's watch the where's that auto watcher? We're saying watch the page directory and the layouts directory. And I've got an ignore pattern there because we want to ignore dot files. I think that's what this is doing. And then basically we say, hey, if anything is added inside the pages or layouts directory, or if it's unlinked, in other words, removed, then I want you to run this write route files function. Gosh, try and say that a million times fast. So this writes the file, and this is where all the magic happens in this generate routes here. And that basically does all the hard work for us. But you probably don't even care about that. So let's come in here and see if I can find... it's called auto routing. I believe it's auto-routing. So that's the CLI plugin. What else is there? There's vue-auto routing. And then we want to find the one that's related to layouts. So vue-router layout. There we go. We'll jump into there. And now we basically should be able to just look at the code and see what they're doing here to make it work. By passing a callback to results. The call receives a string of layout type and expect returning a promised result. Oh, actually, I'm not sure I do want to do this live. Okay, so all right, so it's saying this is the import part. So we can probably just copy paste that. Ah, but this is happening in the router. There is a Vite plugin for that too. Yeah, which is really exciting because it means when the Quasar Vite version comes out, then we can go ahead and use the Vite plugin. Yeah. All right. I think I'm just going to sort of sit with this for a while. It's getting a bit late at night here, and I've baked my brain all day, so I think I'm going to take a break and then come back to this and see if I can get layouts working. I don't think it's going to be too difficult though, and I found that somebody has actually done with this with Quasar online, so I can like take a look at some of that code and see if we can sort of jam that in. But there we go. This is just the beginnings of it. It's not a lot for now, but once we get layouts working, I think that's going to be really cool. So definitely keep an eye on this project, and I'll quickly paste that into the chat because this is going to get updated quite a bit over the next few days as I basically get my bearings. The only other two things I really want to do is layouts and just opening up settings so that you can come in there and basically do some of the finer detail settings. So for example, you can make it so that it doesn't do nested pages. By default, if I come in here, what am I? Oh no, I'm in the wrong thing now. Yeah, by default, it's going to say pages and jump into this profiles directory here, which I showed you before. But in the future, we want to have it so that you could, for example, say just do it shallow, so don't jump into lower directories. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you know, it's one of the options that you have available to you. So I'll expose all of that. And yeah, that's it. This is going to be a short stream, so I'll close it up there and get the layouts working. And I'll probably do a tweet or something. So if you're not following me on Twitter, then definitely check out my Twitter, which is Luke Diebold. All right.